What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nights 91 coming guys in a video. Coming at you guys with my Eagles Lions Week 11 preview. So the Eagles coming to this game after a win on Monday night against the Green Bay Packers, which was a game that left a lot to be desired. The offense was just atrocious throughout most of that game. They didn't know both offenses, the Packers and the Eagles offense, neither one of them could do anything. It was a defensive struggle for most of the game. Eagles offense woke up a little bit in the in the third quarter, then they went right back to sleep and had to depend on the defense to put the game away. Coming to this game against the Detroit Lions, they're going up against a high-powered offense that can put up a ton of points. This is an offense that's coming into this game putting up 30-plus points a game. One of the highest-scoring teams in the league. Eagles defense played exceptionally well against the Green Bay Packers offense. And obviously we're hoping that they have another good performance against Detroit at home. But I'm going to go ahead and just say it right now, guys. If this Eagles offense does not show up, don't look pretty for us. Just keeping it honest. As great as our defense was against Green Bay, you can't expect our defense to play that way every single week. They're gonna need the offense to show up and play. Now, reports been going around that AJ Brown and Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner, had a conversation at practice on Wednesday. Big Dom apparently got them together, and Jeffrey Lurie told AJ Brown that the offense has to be better. He agrees 100% with him on that the offense has to be better, and they're hoping that the Eagles have a much better performance against Detroit. And obviously, as an Eagles fan, that's what we're all hoping for, that we see a much better effort this Sunday night. For me, I believe it when I see it. We can hear all these reports, we can hear all the talk. Talk don't mean nothing to me. I have to see. I have to see it on the field on Sunday night. We thought that the Eagles offense was heading in the right direction after their performance in week 9 before the bye week. We thought they were I think that what's that week 9? Yeah, week 9. Week 9 against the New York Giants. Offense was very efficient in that game, but then they went right back to doing next to nothing against the Green Bay Packers. So I will believe it when I see it. Obviously I'm hopeful, very hopeful that these guys show up and they have a hell of a game plan. It's at home, at the Link, primetime football, going up against a high-powered offense, a team that did a lot of talking. After they got bounced out of the playoffs, in the divisional round as the #1 seed against Washington. Their players were doing a lot of talking about they wanted to play us, even though you got bounced out by Washington. But yeah, they did a whole lot of talking. For me, like I said, coming to this game, the Lions don't scare me. What scares me is not knowing what Eagles team is going to show up. That's what scares me, because you just don't know week in, week out what effort this Eagles team is going to give you. We're going to find out on Sunday night exactly what effort they give us. Coming to this game, this is a big one, man, because the Lions are one of those teams that's right there with the Eagles. The Packers were as well. The Lions are another team that's right there with the Eagles, competing for that #1 seed, in this year. So this is words can't stress how crucial this game truly is. It's a big game against another top NFC team, and the Eagles need to show up, and they need to get the job done. Now I'm going to use reverse psychology with the absolute hope that it doesn't come true, that the Eagles go out there and they get the job done. I'm picking the Lions to win this game by a score of 30-24. That's my score right there, 30-24. But obviously hopeful that the Eagles come out here and they get the job done. But they got we'll see. I'm doing that reverse psychology, hoping that the Eagles continue to win, despite what I say in these videos. Going over the injury report in this game. When it comes to Detroit, here are the players that are going to be out in this game for Detroit. Cornerback Terrion Arnold has a concussion. He will be out. Safety Kirby Joseph with a knee injury. He will be out. Tight end Sam Laporta is out, which is a big one for them. Edge rusher Joshua Paschal is going to be out as well. Questionable in this game, edge rusher Marcus Davenport with a shoulder injury. Offensive tackle Taylor Decker, shoulder. He was resting in practice. I expect him to play. Offensive lineman Miles Frazier with a knee injury. Cornerback DJ Reed, hamstring injury. Cornerback Amick Robinson, hamstring injury. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, knee injury. Running back Jacob Sailors, back injury. Offensive tackle Penny Sewell, ankle injury. Running back Sion Vaki, ankle injury. Tight end Brock Wright, dealing with an ankle injury. As for the Eagles here, let me just give me a second here. Let's see. When it comes to the Eagles, some of the injuries that we're dealing with right now, the Eagles put cornerback Jaire Alexander on the reserve retired list after he decided to step away from football, to focus on, I guess, mental health and some stuff he's got, I guess, physically and stuff as well. The Eagles had just traded for him with the Baltimore Ravens. So he, I wish Jaire Alexander the best of luck in his next chapter of his life. Let's see. Going on about this video, the Eagles only have one player that's going to be questionable in this game. Guard center Willie Lampkin with a knee ankle injury. Good news is that Cam Jurgens is gonna be returning for this game. He missed the Green Bay Packers game, so the Eagles are coming to this game pretty healthy overall. And with a healthy team, it's very important. Obviously, this time of the year, as we're trying to make a big run. So, generally speaking, the Eagles are coming to this game very healthy. So, that's good news for us. But the bad news is we're going up against, like I said, a high-powered offense. Our defense played great against Green Bay, and hopefully they play great against Detroit as well. But they're gonna need the offense to show up, to have a much better showing in this game than what they had the previous games. Keys to victory are always the same. Starts with the big men up front, the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. Those guys set the tone for the game. In this game, they're gonna have a hell of a challenge going up against a very potent passing offense of the Detroit Lions, led by quarterback Jarek Allen. The pass rush has got to get there. The pass rush has been better in recent weeks. It was great against the Giants, and it was very good against the Green Bay Packers as well. So it just the pass rush has got to get there. We Jalen Phillips, got a strip fumble in his debut against for us last Monday night. Need him to continue to thrive in his defense, to do well for us. Him, Nolan Smith, BG, welcome back. He played that game as well. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Jalen Hunt had a sack in that game as well. Moro Ujomo. We need all those guys on the edge rush and the D line to show up. Zach Bond, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., those guys at linebacker. Everybody has to do their job. We got to get the pressure on Jared Goff. We got to try to force mistakes by Jared Goff, because Jared Goff is one of those guys that if you can get the pressure on him, he's a guy that can be prone to making mistakes. Now, secondary, is going to have a hell of a challenge in this game. David Montgomery, that's the running back that we're going to see a lot of in this game from Detroit. David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs is another one that we definitely have to keep an eye on at running back. But at wide receiver, this wide receiver core led by Amon Ra St. Brown. Amon Ra St. Brown, one of the most, I guess I wouldn't say underrated, because he does get a lot of looks and respect, but he's never really put up in that list, generally speaking, when you talk about the true elite receivers in the league, even though this guy does put up big numbers every time he goes out there. But he is definitely a guy that Quinyon Mitchell is gonna have to play a damn good game against this guy. Amon Brown, Jameson Williams is another guy that can stretch the field on your defense, on your secondary. He's going to be somebody that we have to keep on eyes on at all times. Dominic Lovett is another wide receiver for Detroit that is going to have to be accounted for at all times, because he also is another guy that can stretch the field. But importantly, like I said, we got to take away the running game, take away David Montgomery. He's gonna get a big dose of runs. Take away the running game. Get the pass rush on Jared Goff. We have got to try to force a few mistakes by Jared Goff in this Detroit Lions offense. But the most important thing is our offense has got to keep their offense off the field as much as possible. So we need long, sustainable drives, giving your defense good time to rest up and stuff. But keep the Detroit Lions potent offense off the field as much as possible. Offensively, we gotta get the running game going. We gotta get the running game going. I think against this Detroit Lions defense, we can run the ball quite effectively against them. Get that ball to Saquon Barkley, run the ball throughout the game and run it as effectively as possible. Get that running game going, because it's gonna be huge in this game. If you do that, then that will open up things in the pass game. Play action pass to Dallas Goedert. We definitely need to get A.J. Brown. We got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Jahan Dotson. Use these guys. Stretch that field against this. If there's really a weak point in this Detroit Lions defense, it is the secondary. They're missing a couple of guys already as it is. If we can stretch the field on this defense, then we got them right where we want them at. Of course, the best player on this defense is defensive end Aiden Hutchinson. He's a guy that is definitely a game changer. He can absolutely wreck a game without a doubt. We got to make sure that Aiden Hutchinson is accounted for at all times. He is one of the best defensive ends in the league. He just got paid not too long ago and deserved every penny of that. So he is definitely somebody that Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata definitely gonna have to make sure they keep him retained for throughout the game. But yeah, get the running game going, run the ball down the throats of the Detroit Lions. That will open up things in the passing game. Play action pass, Dallas Goedert, Grant Calcaterra, and of course, like I said, guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson. Those guys can really eat in this game. This is definitely a game where I think they have a very good advantage against this secondary of Detroit Lions. I'm picking Detroit win 30-24, hoping that obviously the opposite happens. But everybody got to do their job, man. Offense got to be more efficient, scoring points consistently, keeping Detroit's offense off the field as much as possible, helping your defense out going up against a very potent offense. But yeah. 30-24 right now is my score prediction. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping the opposite happens. But it's gonna take a big team effort here, man, to beat this Detroit Lions team. All three sides of the ball, offense, defense, special teams, everybody has to do their job. Bottom line, everybody has to do their job. They have to communicate. So we'll see if they do that. Like I said, the game is at home, so hopefully they go out there and they surprise us, or whatever, surprise me especially, and they go out there and they take care of business, so we'll see. But yeah, not really much more to say about this game. It's a big game, obviously huge game, going up against another top team in the NFC, a team that is in recent years has just been getting better and better on offense. They're very efficient offense, and they have added some pieces to their defense to try to get better over time. But yeah, not much more for me to say. This is big. We gotta get this win. Because it's huge. It will come. It will definitely come down. It'll come up huge down the road when it comes to playoff season. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Spunky 1991. Spunky 1991 is out of here. Fly, go fly. Peace.
Touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, That's all, folks.